Hey guys, it's Andrew. Today I'm going to tell you about my last time cosplaying at AX 2019. Before I continue, consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Next week, I'm uploading my first gameplay video on SAO Re-Hollow Fragment. Also, I plan on releasing new weekly videos every Thursday. Anyways, right after I announced on Instagram that I was retiring from cosplay in my dramatic post, ACP reached out to me and asked if I was interested in cosplaying one last time for Aniplex at the SAO Alicization panel at AX 2019 as one last hurrah. I very quickly accepted the offer and was set to volunteer at the SAO Alicization panel. Before I got the offer, I was already planning on going to AX for just one day, but I wasn't going to be in cosplay. But after I got the invitation to volunteer for Aniplex, I quickly decided that I would be cosplaying on my one day at AX. Typically, when I've volunteered for Aniplex in the past, you'd be able to find me working at the Aniplex booth on several days throughout the weekend of the con, and also at the SAO-related panels. But this year, since I could only go for one day, I didn't work at the Aniplex booth. My one job was to work at the big SAO panel. I arrived at the con pretty early in the morning, so I was able to hang out for a good chunk of the day since the panel wasn't until later in the afternoon. I finally got to hang out with my good friend Angeli Wen for the first time in forever, and you might recognize her as the Yuki cosplayer that was in my SAO cosplay group. An hour before the panel started, I headed in and began helping set up. We were setting up raffle tickets and being assigned to escort the guests of honor onto the stage. I've been friends with Katsu Cosplay for a while, and I finally got to work with him for the first time. It was his first time working at an SAO panel, and he was cosplaying as Yu-Gi-Oh! My friend Lyman was also working at the panel, and she was cosplaying as Alice. It was so cool to see her again, since the last time I worked an SAO panel with her was back in 2016. You also might recognize her for being the Silica that was in my SAO cosplay group. Backstage, I was lucky enough to meet all three of the guests of honor that came from Japan. I got to meet Masami Niwa, who's the producer, Shingo Adachi, who's the character designer, and Manabu Ono, who is the animation director. Also, I guess word had spread that this was my last event, so I got to talk to Bryce Pappenbrook, Jeremy Lee, and Alex Von David a bit about it.
And SAO's character designer, Mr. Shingo Adachi.
When Shingo Adachi was called to the stage, he looked over and motioned me to come over with his arm extended out. When I got closer, he put his arm around me, and then I put my arm around him, and then he led me onto the stage sort of skipping, so I joined him. After I escorted him onto the stage, I went backstage and the rest of the panel took place. As soon as the panel ended, I really had to use the restroom, so I stormed out of the panel room. But I left all of my stuff, including my badge, in the panel room like an idiot. So of course, when I came back to the panel room, the man working security stopped me. I told him that I was working in the previous panel and that I just quickly ran to the restroom, but he clearly didn't believe me. He just sort of made a face in disbelief and said, I told him to look inside for my friend that was cosplaying as Yu-Gi-Oh! I said to look for someone with a blonde wig, all blue, and a blue sword. Instead, he found someone else inside. I was a bit far back, so I honestly had no idea who it was from where I was standing. The security guy asked the man if he knew who I was, and the person inside just looked at me with a straight face for a few moments. When I saw him looking over at me with a straight face, I honestly thought I was gonna get locked out. But thankfully, he said yes. He told the security guy that he did know me. The security guard was shocked and then he apologized to me. I let him know that it was cool. I knew that he was just doing his job. As soon as I got back in the panel room, Atashi was standing there and she handed me some flowers. Then Bryce walked up to me and we chatted for a bit and then we took a photo. Wayne from ACP reminded Jeremy and Alex that it was my last event, so they came over and they took a photo with me as well. I started to get pretty emotional and it was all sinking in that my cosplay journey was coming to an end. Honestly, I was sort of holding the tears back at this point. I let Bryce, Jeremy, and Alex know that their work was the reason that I even got into SAO in the first place. If it weren't for them, I would have never joined the SAO community and started cosplaying back in 2014. They did tell me that I could come out of retirement if I ever changed my mind, but that was my last AX as a cosplayer. It was so much fun, a little emotional, and I honestly wish that I could relive it again. If you're wondering why I decided to quit cosplaying, I made a video explaining why and how I came to that decision. You can click on it here somewhere in the video, or look in the description below to find the video. I already said this in the other video, but working at the SAO Aniplex events as a Kirito cosplayer was probably the only thing I never got tired of doing. A big thank you to Aniplex and AC Paradise for giving me the opportunity to make so many fun memories over the years. Also, a big thank you to Bryce, Shermie, Alex, all the other voice actors, the other Aniplex staff, and everyone else for always being so much fun at all the events I worked with them at. And thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. If I missed anything or if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer it as best as I can. Thanks everyone, see you next time.